Child Impact International is an organization that gives hope and fosters permanent, positive change in the lives of disadvantaged children and their communities. Countries include Zambia, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. Child Impact's investment in the lives of more than 3,500 children continues to yield infinite returns. Outreach spans from child rescue operations to providing an education and a home for deaf and blind children and orphans. Above all, Child Impact's sponsors give hope to the ones who need it the most. When we left for Bangladesh, we had no idea what lay ahead. We recorded the sights and sounds of that vibrant country, but it's the people that we remember. The father and mother who willingly work themselves into an early grave in the hope that they can give their children a better life. The children who find a way to live on in spite of the hunger and loss. We only got to record some of their stories, but the stories that we did capture still inspire us.
Well, I think the lesson today is that we're beginning to understand the depth of the struggle of these families. I mean, I really, I come here 3 or 4 times and you meet these kids, but today we heard them talking. We heard, how old was that boy? 7, 9, talking about the parent dying, the grandparents trying to get them to come to the school, the struggle, and it's consistent. It's consistent of the kids we talk to. And I just wonder how we share that with people, how we tell them, because to be honest, it's much bigger than sponsoring a kid. We say sponsor a child, but it's not. It's so deeper than that. And I've really been touched. I really see it as a challenge of how we reflect to the people that have a lot, of how sponsoring a child is just simply not that. It is giving them an education, but the difference it's making to the families, because these families are struggling. And in fact, struggling is a cliche. They're desperate. They can't afford to feed. These kids come here and get 3 meals a day. So, and the change it's making in the life of a solo mum, of a grandparent. We have trouble reflecting that. It must give them hope. The pain they must be suffering because they can't feed their kids. The pain they must be suffering because they can't get an education. And we actually cure that pain, because it's my responsibility to share it. I mean, I've got the responsibility of curing it. I've got not curing it, but that's the wrong word, but how do we help these people? How do we give them hope? And I guess back in, I'm going to go back to my air-conditioned room, and I'm going to fly back to America, whereas these people haven't got a push bike. We see them walking on the side of the road. They're struggling to feed their kids. And yet we've got an opportunity through what we do to help them.
Even though Jim has been to Bangladesh many times, the need still moves him, and with good reason. It is easy to think that having food and clean water is a normal thing, but for people in Bangladesh, it is a luxury that few can afford. While sponsorship is making a major difference in the lives of many, most aren't so lucky.
If I am not studied here, maybe I will lost. Maybe my father and my mother cannot provide me the good education. Maybe they cannot provide me a good food, good shelter. and it is the basic needs. They cannot provide me. Even I was a student over here. That time also they didn't provide me the good things, the basic things.
I'm from beside the village, like Kolligram, I am from there. And actually I was abandoned by my mother and she wanted to bury me alive. So foreigners went there and then they brought me back here. Like we was at Dhaka, and then from Dhaka I moved to another school and then I came here. And so if I wouldn't come here, I didn't know what my life would be. Maybe like I wouldn't get a chance to study or I'd get married in this little age. So I'm very excited, like I'm very happy that I'm here and that God brought me here.
And my parents could not pay my school fees, so I enjoy this work because when I visit around villages, so I know the people and they are needy and sometimes they approach to me and they cry to me and they ask for sponsorship. So I am interested to work behind them so that I can do something for them actually.
আমার মা আছে কিন্তু আমার বাবা ছিল যখন আমি ছোট ছিলাম তখন আমার বাবা মরে গেছে তারপরে আমার মাসি ওরা এখানে কাজ করে শিক্ষক হয় এখানকার তো ওনারা খবর দিছে যে এখানে একটা প্রতিষ্ঠান আছে তো তোমাকে এখানে ভর্তি করানো হবে তারপরে আমাকে এখানে নিয়ে আসা হলো আমি এখানে 2012 সাল থেকে আছি আর এখানে ছোট থেকে এত বড় হইলাম এখন আমি 11 ক্লাসে পড়ি
Even though they have gone through so much, they still push on due to a faith in God and the helpful support of sponsors. Viewers like you help push the mission forward. With each episode that airs, we see more and more support that matches the ever-increasing need that comes from the countries that Child Impact works in. Every donation, no matter how small, has been used to great effect. The construction of the new building at KMMS, which we began in faith, has seen a lot of progress.
So here we are on the roof of the building that's going to be demolished, and this part of the building over here is what it was originally a hospital built over 100 years ago, which the school's been using for about 40 years, and this part where I'm standing was built about 40 years ago, and although it doesn't show it on a dry day like this, the water is coming down and is actually going through what I'm standing on and weakening the concrete below. It does give us a great view of the school and the great trees and grounds that they have, but it's going to be an exciting development to replace this building. So the new building that we're going to build here in Bangladesh is going to have a wide range of uses. At the front end is going to be a preschool, which people will pay to bring their students to. That's going to be an income generating project. Then the rest of the building is going to include an administration block, a new library, a new science room, and a number of classrooms. So this is going to be a big boost to this mission school. It's going to help attract new students and will be a big boost for the students at the school.
There is still so much more to be done and more support is needed, but God has touched the hearts of many and has placed a beacon that will continue to witness and help the locals at KMMS. This building will help younger children to attend from around the area. Food has become a major problem since the pandemic, and the changes to this unpredictable world has made it harder. Even through all the challenges, we have been able to provide much needed help for the schools. We have had a lot of appeals because of the need for help, but the faith and generosity of you, the sponsors, cannot be understated. This is a major effort, even with everyone working together, but we still cannot give up. The effect of the pandemic to Bangladesh has been staggering. Work has vanished and factories are closed down. Food is hard to come by or afford. Children have to be protected and schools need to keep operating. Even though the needs shown in the last Bangladesh visit were great, it's become all but exponentially worse. There are a lot of children in Bangladesh who need sponsorship to keep going. But thanks to our sponsors, like you, they are still able to have an education during a major crisis and food to eat.
How many children do you manage?
We manage over 3,200 students.
3,200
students.
Okay.
We have 4 field managers, and I am supervising them. And we have big and small, around 10 partners.
Right.
Yeah.
These children are being helped thanks to the sponsors that they have. You can see the joy they feel. Teachers are grateful for the future they have. Students see their own teachers demonstrating what is possible.
The sponsorship is very important for Bangladesh because here is the needy children. They need to go to school. Many students out there, they don't have opportunity to go to school. So it's really helping our country, and even the church has a great work through schools. Our schools is a mission outreach where whoever can come and study here, and this sponsorship is helping so much to have the growth of the church. And children and the young people, while they are coming in this school, they are really falling in love with Jesus and accepting Jesus as their personal Savior. It's really marvelous work. So preparing for this world and the world to come.
The effects of sponsorship is timeless and is one of the strongest witnessing tools for these countries. There is so much need, but every single child helps improve the country and brings others out of poverty. Each success story is a witness for people to hear the message of Jesus and show how these places are helping them grow. It's people in Bangladesh having the right tools that enable them to be a beacon of hope through their own testimony. God has been good to his projects and plans. We are able to see KMMS keep growing with sponsorship. Each child, both shown and not shown, are being cared for and are happy to see their futures become more and more of a reality. Each number counts. Each child has a story, and each story can be a witness for God. Thank you again, sponsors, for everything. The journey isn't over. It's just the beginning. For the honor and glory of God.
Thank you, sponsor.
Thank you. Thank you, sponsor.
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 Thank you, sponsor. Thank you, sponsor.
Thank you, sponsor.
Thank you. Thank you, sponsor.
Thank you, sponsor. Thank you, sponsor.